Welcome back to my channel, guys. So I decided to do some painting, and I figured while I had the trunk pan off, I can show you the overall what it looks like. So I say that tub looks pretty good. The wheel well, my floor bracing, and then up over to here, I'll say that's a pretty damn good welding job, considering I'm not a welder by trade. So that's what it looks like for my rear body mount on both sides. And double stack 3/16 steel plate to help strengthen up the corners, and welded everything together. And I think I'm going to put another one here for the center support, so that way it matches all the way across. But I must say, pretty good job for government work. So we're straight down the center here. Body's a little bit off, but all this back here is straight on the money. I mean, got the equal amount of spacing from there to there. Then the outside edge to the outside edge is a little bit out, which is not going to hurt nothing. It's the way I had to do it because of this guy here. As you can see, I notched it out here and I reinforced it on the inside with some extra steel so it doesn't flex. And my fenders are separate from the tub kit that I made, and I'm going to continue this all the way down. Same thing up there in the front. And it's going to get welded to the quarter panel that I made, and I'll repeat the process over here. And so I'll take my measurements from here, just like I've done there. I'll take the measurements from here and apply the rest of it here. So what I'll do is I'll continue it off of the back of here into this and have it wrap around here flat. And then what you would commonly see in the bed of a truck or inside the trunk. These guys here will be exposed on the top side, and just to prevent any rust, I just put a coat of paint on here. It's just a single coat, just to keep the rust from coming back. And then I'm going to put trunk paint on it after I do some bead rolling for reinforcement. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. And just thought maybe to check in to show you guys. So the leftover pieces I have, we'll be able to fill that in over there, and pieces I'll have to be able to fit in over here. And then same thing up there in the front. And then I think that's calling it a pretty good homemade trunk pan with a homemade rear side quarter panel. Not an exact duplicate, but I would say it's a pretty damn good close match. And then I got to weld the front of these rails into the back of the body, the frame that's on the body. Once that all gets welded in, then this body will be a full complete body, minus the outer shell. I got my pieces here to form out the trunk lid and the rear body support, and it'll look good from here. And so I gotta finish grinding out all this, and then I'll put a nice healthy coat of paint in there to prevent any rust coming back in there. And I know immediately this bar is a mistake. because that's where the gas tank's going to go. So that's going to get cut and boxed to be able to accommodate for a gas tank. I'll keep the gas tank in the rear, and then I'll use a electric assisted fuel pump just for startup. After it starts up, it'll take over from there. And so after doing all this, the side quarter panel, the rear trunk, roll pin, I should have enough left over. I'm going on to guess that I'll have 2 panels left that I can do both floor pans on the inside there. So once I get this finished back here and it's all tightened up, then I'm going to jump off of here and start working on the inside of the car, getting the steering, brake, gas, and then work on floor pan, and then I can work on welding the steering column, getting that set, and continuing my 4 body mounts on the inside there in the seat area, and then I can worry about the front when I get to it. But I must say, that turned out pretty well and pretty strong. That thing ain't going nowhere. I actually did a pretty good job on that. Irregardless, if we got a little bit of wavy there, I can care less. I'm putting carpet over it. The paint's just to help prevent rust. Any moisture gets in between the carpet and the metal, it's not going to rust as easy. And so I'm going to have to take this back out so I can paint the underneath of it before I weld it in, make it permanent. And then I'm just going to self-tap, with some self-tappers, the trunk pan, just temporarily, just to hold it in place so it don't go nowhere. And that'll stop leaves and unnecessary things falling down into here. And so that's pretty much where it's at. And before I put that trunk pan in here, I still need to weld all those little pegs here. They're just tacked in. They weren't fully welded. So there's air gap in between them. The only ones that are permanent is the 2 A-frames that comes down. But the rest of it is just stacked and tacked in place. And so once those are fully welded in, then I'll be interested in welding this permanently, making that a permanent structure. But I think it all turned out pretty well. I mean, for a guy that's had 4 strokes, that's not a welder by trade, I think I've nailed that pretty well. I mean, I've always had precise measuring. I mean, give or take, because of certain things I have to overcome. So I think that's pretty damn good. So it's not enough to where you're going to notice it back here, because all I got to do is space that out just a little bit, just to make face with what's right here. So what you do there, you got to do it down here too, and then they'll both look the same. And well, that's where I'm at, and I think that's pretty much it. So just wanted to give you guys a little insight, and y'all come on back, watch me again, and hit subscribe, hit like if it helped you out. And if you'd like to be able to see more of this build process, let me know. And got any suggestions, leave it in the comment section, and keep it respectful, keep it clean. We're grown adults. We don't need the likes of idiocy being displayed in my channel. Deal with enough of it on Facebook. keep it over there. This is something I take great pride in. It's something I care about, and I don't want my followers to have to be witness to it. So you all remember, get out and do something every day. You'll be glad you did. You'll thank me later. So hope to see you all next time. Have a good one.